Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Radio Days with Gary Music Miller. I'm your co-host, Dave Black. This is Gary Music Miller, the Hall of Famer and a longtime voice at WKEE, former PD, DP, and this, that, and the other, and any other adjectives and abbreviations you want to put on his name.
Yep.
MD as well, not doctor,
so.
Music director.
Assistant program APD.
Yeah. We are coming to you as usual from the Museum of Radio and Technology, 1640 Florence Avenue in Huntington, West Virginia. Coming out and take a look. We appreciate if you did, they would appreciate it as well. We would like to, number one, ask you to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy our content. We appreciate we have some new subscribers. We appreciate each and every one that steps up and joins our little gang here, so to speak.
And I had somebody recently tell me, excuse me for interrupting, that they were subscribed, but they didn't know they were prescribed.
Doctor
they
told
didn't.
them.
They didn't know they were subscribed. So you might, if you think you're subscribed, you might want to double check and make sure you are, because
click away. It's free.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Today we are doing I thought it was interesting, but I think some of you might as well. But we've gone through a couple of lists through the 70s, and if we could find them in the 80s, songs that, and Gary played every single one of these, I'm sure, songs that either began with the word cold or began with the word hot. Now,
not necessarily, I didn't think about that. There's one or two that the word hot comes after the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Something Like It Hot is one that comes to mind. Well, I'll mention that in just a few minutes. But,
Gary's
the end of the song.
Yeah, Gary has got the hot songs.
I do, and Dave.
I've got the cold ones, the ones that didn't make the charts, I guess.
And our question to you might be at this point, stick with us till the end of the show. I'll have another, you got to hear this, a song you've never heard before. And we'll be revealing these songs, and you can think about them and remember them on the way that we reveal them. Yep. And you say, oh, I forgot about that song. My very first song is one I almost totally forgot about.
Yeah, and the you got to hear this part. I'll put a link down below the description, and you can click on that to watch hear the song, watch the video, if you so desire.
If you so desire, exactly. And not too many of you do, apparently. But we noticed a recent spike, if you will, in viewership. And that's really, really nice. We're almost 5 times our average. So I'm not sure what we did we talked about 1981 a couple of shows back, and that one got quite a few views.
We got 5 times our average views, which we're up to 20. So now we're going to hit these lists, and I'm going to let Gary take off here. He's got the hot songs.
All right. These are going to be given to you in the reverse order that I remembered them. So the least remembered song is going to come in at number 12. Actually, I have 2 songs that I didn't remember at all when I did some research, but these were all by memory and songs that I played. So I'm going to start at number 12 with a song that by a guy named Robbie Dupree. Now, Robbie had a really big hit with a song called Steal Away. And we had a lot of success with that. It was the top 10 or top 5 song for a while. He did a song called Hot Rod Hearts. Mm-hmm. And it peaked October 11th. I have more information than I need here. October 11th, 1980, which was right when I was transitioning over to key, between 78 and 80. And the song peaked at number 15. So that's my 12th place song. My 11th place song is by a family group called The Silvers. They rode the disco wave pretty well. They did 2 or 3 different songs. The one that came to mind for me first was Hotline. Hotline by the Silvers was out. Number 15. I'm sorry, no, that's Robbie. The Silvers went to number 5, January 29th, 1977, which is, I would have been playing at WAMX in Ashland before I came to Key. So now we're down to the top 10 I have. You want to start? You want me to continue? And
Oh,
we'll
go ahead.
alternate?
Go ahead.
Okay, all right. My 10th remembered song actually goes back to 1969. It was Sly and the Family Stone, Hot Fun in the Summertime.
Oh, yeah.
Couple of interesting...
That's my favorite part of the song.
Well, I didn't care for the song, number one. I didn't care for the group, number two. So it's probably why it's so far down in my list. Sly and the Family Stone was just not one of my favorite groups. Only other song I remember by them, if I can even remember it, was Family Affair. They did a song called It's a Family Affair. Nothing wrong with
Thank you for letting me be myself again.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
For letting me.
The song that's divided up in syllables. But not to offend, Sly and the Family Stone, I believe, are probably in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If they're not, they should be. This is interesting to me. Hot Fun in the Summertime peaked at number 2. Did not go to number 1, but it peaked at number 2. Guess when? October 19th, 1969. And I'm thinking, Hot Fun in the Summertime, October. What's wrong with this picture?
They had to get through the summer and have their hot fun before they could tell about it.
Okay, well, you've described it for me. I'm like, the last thing I'd be thinking about around Halloween is having hot fun in the summertime. But that's when it peaked. I may have given the wrong date. It's October 18th, I believe, 1969. But that's the 160 song I think we have included in either one of our lists. You may have more.
Yeah,
I have not. He hadn't shared his cold list with me. So
no, if you would like, I would.
You got a number 10?
I've got a song from 1967.
Ah,
Now I went back a little farther than normal, but
should I try to guess it?
Let me
Cold.
preface this by saying, in all my research, believe me, there are more songs with the word "hot" in them that made top 40 than there was cold.
Well, you just spoiled it for the people.
Well,
they know you didn't spoil it, but I was wondering what you thought.
Oh, well,
and that's fine. That's fine.
Please disregard the previous comment.
I'm teasing. And, I picked hot because it was easy. It's just simple. He's proving that cold was much more difficult to come up with.
The first one I have is "Cold Sweat" by James Brown, 1967. Peaked at number 7 on the Hot 100.
I'd forgotten all about that, if I even remembered it. James Brown again, one of my favorite.
Breaking out in a cold sweat.
I was more of an association, Buckingham's, all the groups, late 60s, Three Dog Night I loved, late 60s groups, and I didn't care much for them either, but here we go. And number 9 on my list is Jerry Reed, who is a country performer. This was, I believe, his biggest pop song ever. And I played it, interestingly enough, when I started radio, 1971 to 74, I played country music on WWHY, an AM radio station in Huntington. That's before I moved to WCMI in Ashland, WAMX in Ashland, and wound up for the last 31 years of my career at WKEE in Huntington, Ashland, Ironton. So when you're hot, you're hot. He mentions it twice. Jerry Reed went to number 9 on the pop chart, June 26, 1971. So that was before I got into top 40 radio, but I was playing country at the time. So I got to play that one too.
Well,
what do you have at number 9?
I'm next on my list.
Next on your list, yeah.
From 1977. Now that I did scour as much as I could,
sure,
as much as my tiny brain will let me remember. And in 1977, the song went to number 6. It was by Foreigner, and it was called
Cold Blooded.
Cold as Ice.
Cold as Ice. What am I thinking of? Hot Blooded.
Hot Blooded, yeah.
Hot Blooded. I
But,
got it mixed up.
Cold as Ice by Foreigner in 1977.
Hot Blooded.
Mick
I would
Jones and the
imagine
band.
it's coming up. If it's not, shame
Yeah.
on me. Cold as Ice.
Right.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Number 8 on my list is Commander Cody and the Lost Planet Airmen, I believe is the group's title. Did a song called Hot Rod Lincoln. It went to number 9, June 3rd, 1975, I believe. I played that, but I did some research on that song, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just...
Oh, it went to number 2?
1972.
1972, okay. Number 9. I'm reading my own handwriting, so that's what I lean on him.
And the song was a cover.
Yeah, it was. And the original, very first version was like released in 1940.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Long time ago. And there were a couple of different versions of it. And it was a strange song to be out in the top 40 in 1972, but I guess 72 was one of those strange years. I graduated high school, and there were...
Was that so strange?
Variety. Very strange. See, my grades especially... It's funny, after I started in radio, my grades started going down. It was like my interest in school. It's crazy, but I started in radio in 1971, graduated in 72.
Wolfman Jack never had a degree, so...
Well... I had 98.6 of them, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. What you got on your cold list?
Oh, from 1989. I guess you can guess this.
Probably
it went to number 3, but it had something to do with a Funky Cold Medina.
Funky Cold Medina.
Tone Loc.
Tone Loc.
It was almost a novelty song.
Yes,
it was a rap song that got massive airplay.
Yes, it did.
The guy was almost a novelty act.
What an incredible, weird voice he had too.
But because his songs always had some comedy element to it,
spice to it.
So people actually didn't really take him that serious.
Well, I was probably one of them. I imagine we were at Key. We transitioned for a few years to more adult contemporary music, then we played top 40. Eventually the station reverted back to its top 40 format. But Funky Cold Medina was one of those songs we only played at night,
right,
with my friend Russell T. Hill. So
but it was a rap song that crossed
really
over to made top 40, and it's one of the very few.
It certainly did. Number 7 on, I think I have one coming up that I could have sworn was after 2000, that was before 2000. I'll mention that soon. But at number 7 on my list, The Power Station, Some Like It Hot, May 11th, 1985, made it to number 6. Hard to believe, considering the group consisted of Robert Palmer, 2 of the members of Duran Duran, and the drummer for Chic. And
the Iron Sheik?
The Le Freak Chic. the Le Freak Chic. And their drummer, 2 members of Duran Duran, and Robert Palmer got together with the super group. That I'm not saying they're super, I'm saying that's what they would call a mixture of 2 groups, or 3 groups, or 4 groups together. And Power Station, Some Like It Hot, came out in 85. And gave Robert Palmer some extra money, and the guys from Duran Duran and Chic. So the guy from Chic could do it easily by 1985.
Right.
Disco had taken the proverbial dive.
Yeah. Chic was the band that was pretty much fronted by Nile Rodgers.
Nile Rodgers, yes.
Great musician and guy in music. It's great.
I wouldn't have been able to answer that. So there you got me on that
one. Once again, we're going to dip into 1989, on my side at least.
Interesting.
This song went to numero uno, number 1 on the Hot 100.
And it had Cold in the title.
Yes, it did.
I'm not going to get any of these. I don't think.
It was about a reptile.
A cold lizard, a cold dinosaur.
It was
Walk the
Paula
dinosaur.
Abdul's Cold Hearted. You were a cold hearted snake. It was called Cold Hearted by
Yeah.
Paula Abdul, the former cheerleader for the Lakers and choreographer for Michael Jackson and everybody else. And
judge, perennial judge.
Yeah,
On,
and
every music
at one time was Arsenio Hall's girlfriend. How that happened, I'll never know.
I did not know that either.
So
I guess it woof, 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 right?
Yeah.
Okay, on my sixth on my list is a disco song. It was number one for 3 weeks, starting June 9th, 1979. Now we're talking 79. We've done shows on disco in the past. Disco kicked in and started to rule things around 74, 75. And by 1981, 82, it was over. But Hot Stuff by Donna Summer went to number one for 3 weeks starting June 9th, 1979. June, perfect time for a hot song.
Also done by the Rolling Stones in 1972.
Yeah, was it the same song, though? I don't remember.
The title is the same.
Title's the song.
But
I'd be interested. I don't remember it, but
I don't think it was
when was
a cover.
it, 72?
72 for the Stones.
Before I got into top 40 radio, so I didn't get to enter that field for 74.
Of course, you mentioned the song. It's the same title. It wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't the same song, but it was the same title.
Yeah, I can't imagine Mick Jagger saying, "I've got some hot stuff, baby, this evening," or whatever that was.
He did. A lot of people didn't remember it.
Yeah, he did. He did a disco song. They did a disco song. We talked about that. You can go back in our history and see our 3-part episode on disco if you want to, ever. What else you got on your cold list?
Speaking of the Rolling Stones, in 1980, they had a song called "She's So Cold." It was kind of controversial. Went to number 26 on the chart because it was controversial because they had a curse words in the song that were not a lot of them were not edited out of their recording, and they were not edited by a lot of the radio stations, so they were allowed to go on.
Yeah.
But they still had "She's So Cold."
She's so cold.
Yeah.
Okay. My 5th place song went to number 3 in 1978, September 9th, was Hot Blooded by Foreigner. And that was the one I remembered 4th on this list. And it was a big song. It surprises me that it only went to number 3. I would have guessed it was a number 1 single. And I'm sure something kept it out of its spot in 1978, but it was on the Double Vision album, I believe. And if you were lucky enough to get to see Foreigner, which I was not, I don't believe they came around to Charleston or Huntington, but didn't get to see Foreigner, would have loved to. And I really liked Hot Blooded.
Right.
So I don't hate everything, folks.
Okay. From now on is where I things I had to start stretching to find time, because it was really tough decade and 2 decades actually, 70s and or 80s. So I
might get lucky.
In 19,
I have not looked at Dave's list, by the way. So
in 1974, from Kiss, their debut album. It never charted.
Cold-Blooded Woman?
No, it never charted.
Never charted. Okay.
But it was a hit on AOR stations as well as hard rock stations.
Yeah. Okay. I guess Rock and Roll All Night was probably the first one that made it to top 40.
Right.
What was the title?
But this was off their debut album called Kiss, and the song was called "Cold Gin."
Cold Gin?
I remembered. I had the 8-track. That's how old we are. I had the 8-track, and I remember the song.
Interesting. Well, that's good. I have in my 4th remembered position a song that probably a lot of people have forgotten that Loverboy did. I actually got a brown. We're cheating, folks. We're looking at the actual record. No, I had a round thing given to me when Loverboy was first released. Columbia sent me and dozens, if not hundreds, of other people in the business, a Wonderful Ear Award. It was like, great ears. Thank you for remembering Loverboy. and believing in the song. And we played Hot Girls in Love. My Lover Boy went to number 11. So they were just kind of getting off. I don't know what came first, the big ones or the little ones. But in 1983, on August 20th, Loverboy's Hot Girls in Love peaked at number 11.
Yeah.
So
I remember that you gave me tickets once to Loverboy in 1983, at the peak of their fame and how hot they were. They were in Cincinnati at Kings Island's amphitheater.
Yeah.
I couldn't go, and believe it or not, I could not give those tickets away. Nobody wanted them. Nobody wanted to go.
Wouldn't be the first thing I had. Nobody would buy.
I thought that was
at the same time.
The same.
That's how well we've been together.
The same thing happened to me with tickets for Men at Work.
Yeah.
When they're at their peak, nobody wanted them. It just blew me away. Okay, let me get over here and get cold again. 1992. There's another song that didn't make it on the U.S. charts. It did go to number 26 on the U.K. chart. It was from a solo album by Annie Lennox, one half of the Eurythmics, along with Dave Stewart. The song was called Cold.
It was just called Cold.
Cold. And she, according to all indications, I listened to a piece of it. It may have been okay. It wasn't my cup of tea. However, it was, like I said, it went to 26 in the UK.
England has quite a few cups of tea.
No, yeah, they at least twice a day.
Exactly. Okay. All right. UK. One of my secondary specialties. There are a lot of songs that made it in the UK and made it in Canada. I want to bring up one later today that you've never heard, and you probably have never heard. The guy was a superstar in Canada, but it didn't work out so well for him over here. I think third song on my list at number 3 came to my mind in this order. Too Hot by Kool and the Gang went to number 5 April 5th, 1980. So Kool and the Gang actually had a good ride during the disco era, but this was a very slow. It was just a lesser energy kind of song that people were ready to hear and improves what they were trying to adapt to the end of disco. So Kool and the Gang, Too Hot, number 5, and I've got 2 left.
Okay, me too.
Me too.
As well as some honorable mentions.
Yeah, me too.
If you got to stretch it, you got to stretch it. That's all there is to it.
Right.
You may remember, I don't remember this. This was from 1997. I don't remember it at all, period, because that was times when I kind of just quit listening because it all sounded alike to me. However, we don't, even though I was music director from 90 to, from 2001 to 2009, 2000 to 2009. Yeah.
And I probably couldn't name you half a dozen songs during that time. I was really losing interest. And I was in my 50s, and it was just like, I was there because I was getting paid to be there. And plus, it was still a fun job, even though I didn't care. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all right. In 1997, this song did go to number 11.
Okay.
It was by MC Light and Missy Elliott.
I want to say Hot to Try.
No.
I have all things flash through my mind.
It's called Cold Rocka Party.
Cold Rocka Party. Okay, yeah. Well, if we played that, I was probably at night.
I'm sure that's all.
What year was that?
1997.
97.
I'm sure that's one of everybody's top hits of their life. Okay, what do you have?
I have that my second remembered song after the first one. I remembered a song I really, really, really liked. It only went to number 23, September 11, 1982, by Billy Idol. Any remembers this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he remembers it. Good. Hot in the City was the name of the song. I found out later that the song was from the record company, but the song was written about girls in New York City. And he thought every girl that walked down the street, I guess Billy thought was hot. So it inspired him to do Hot in the City. It only went to number 23, and what's memorable about this to me, and only diehard Key memories with great Key listeners with great memories would remember this, but I got the phone one day, record company was calling me, and they said, Billy is going into the studio, and he's going to shout out the name of like 100 cities. Would you like to be included? I said, sure. I'm not paying him. So, if something you could send me for free and it'd be something we could have fun with. So we get the tape or whatever it was on, I think it's on a tape maybe. And he yells out right in the middle of Hot in the City, he yells out, New York. And it really is the end of a lyric. But he says the lyric and then he goes, New York. And for us, we got to play a version where he says, and I quote, Huntington. He says, Huntington. And we took the New York out of the song and started playing the Huntington version. And I thought it was really cool. And I absolutely love the song. I don't know why, but it's one of my favorite songs in the 1980s. And it went to, as I said, it went to number 23. So it wasn't huge. And I have a tendency to like songs that aren't big songs. One of my bad traits, I guess. Billy Idol, Hot in the City in 1982. And we each have one song.
I always thought it was about weather.
Exactly.
And also,
well, I found out the reason he yells New York is because he wrote the song about New York women. Yeah. And it's like, oh, gosh, I can't take that away from him. Then I heard him go, Huntington. And I said, yes, I can. Yeah. So I manually inserted that into however we did it on card or on tape or whatever.
That reminds me of we built this city because you did the overdub on the where they do the whole DJ deal where he's telling about the city by the bay and this that,
city by the bay. Yeah, I used to know the name of that guy and I don't remember it right now, but he was a DJ in Los Angeles, obviously, and so you got anything left?
Yes, I do. 2008.
Okay.
Right near the end of your run at Key.
Yeah.
This song went to number 3 by Katy Perry.
Hot and Cold.
Hot and Cold.
Yeah.
Hot and Cold.
Katy Perry
this one had the best of both lists.
Katy has, I didn't list her. I will mention some post 2000 songs in a minute. But surprisingly, because Katy bothered me a little bit. It was like, she came out with a song, I Kissed a Girl.
She came up behind you and pulled your hair? What?
Well, yeah. Well, when she released I Kissed a Girl, which I think went to number 1 in many, many countries. I think it won a Grammy. And not too many songs scared me. You're looking at a guy that played Go All the Way by the Raspberries in the early 70s. So not too many songs scared me, but for some reason I just, that bothered me. Had a little chat with the general manager about it, and we couldn't stop her. She, it might have been the time when I was being perceived as being a troublemaker, maybe. But I said,
you rabble rouser.
Do we want to play this song, And it was really funny. One of my friends did an edit. Said, "Okay, well, you don't want to hear this. I kissed a girl. I'll do an edit." So he takes out the word "kissed," and I beep a girl, and I liked it or whatever. So, so it surprises me that Katy didn't go on. Yeah. She's had a billion hits in the 2010s. And it surprised me that's not a number one song.
It's probably not the only song that ever pushed the envelope. So.
Yeah, probably not. I know it wasn't. But I've actually had a question posed to me over on Twitter when we do viewer mail. Are there any songs that you had to play that bothered you or that management approached you about? And that's an interesting subject in itself. The last song like that I remember was "I Want Your Sex" by George Michael.
Yep.
And it was out in the 90s and or 2000. I think it was out in the 90s.
90s.
They released a version. Two radio stations did not feel comfortable playing "I Want Your Sex." It was called "I Want Your Love," and they released it as a separate version. And guess what? We ended up playing the "I Want Your Love" version because the general manager kind of had a fit. I think it was around Tufi's time. But
that would be Tufi Kassab.
Tufi Kassab, Tufi Kassab. He went by both pronunciations. Yeah. He was my general manager for a while.
I like Tufi.
Tufi was a good guy, and Tufi, the pecking order in radio was the general manager, actually the owner, and then the general manager, then the operations manager, then the program director, and then the music director. So I wasn't as important as I like to think I was, but I'm like seventh on the list. But I did get to make the decisions about music, and if anybody had any problems with them, that will address that girl's ex message to me. We can discuss that at some time and discuss songs that might have scared me a little bit.
Salt and Pepper ran into that same problem.
Number one on my list, this was the first song Dave and I discussed doing hot and cold songs. I said, I want the hot ones. Very first song that came to my mind was Hot Child in the City, not to be confused with Hot in the City by Billy Idol. Hot Child in the City went to number one for 1 week by Nick Gilder, October 28th, 1978. That was just when I just started at Key. And I was one of the first people in this area to hear that song. And that was part of the delight of being music director. But I could just hear that it was a hit. It just seemed like it was a hit to me. And I was right. It went to number one. We played it. And Nick Gilder, I don't think I'm going to be able to remember the name of the band, but he was in a band that was very successful in the UK, and I should have probably written it down if it was very important. It might come to me at some point, but it was a band I had heard of, and Nick Gilder was a part of that band and did a lot of different things. Interestingly, this was 78, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Nick was up for a Grammy Award. Either Nick Gilder or Robbie Dupree were up for a Grammy Award that they lost to Christopher Cross. So, and I think it might have been Nick Gilder. But that was the only song I know of that he had over here. Like I said, he was part of a group in the UK. There are two hot songs, if I can inject them here, that I forgot about. And the only way I knew about this was I just went down the list of songs that I could find on the internet and went over some songs that I didn't remember. And two songs that I did not remember. Hot, Hot, Hot by Buster Poindexter. And actually, my friend Dave here reminded me of that a couple of weeks ago. And I don't know how far up the chart it went because I forgot all about it. But
otherwise known as David Johansen.
David Johansen? Very good, very good. I don't know what this guy was otherwise known as, but Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart had a song called Hot Legs. I love you, honey, was the end of it. I just woke up every cat in the neighborhood. Every dog is now, but he did that, and I did not like that song. I don't know why. There were many Rod Stewart songs I really didn't care for, but he was a super big artist. So those two songs, Hot, Hot, Hot and Hot Legs, should have been included in my group. And I have a couple of songs to mention, post-2000. Now, this first one was not post-2000. It was number one for 2 weeks in 1994. I didn't remember it. The group or person is named Eni Kamosi, and the song is called Here Comes the Hot Stepper. And it went to number one, like I said, for 2 weeks in 1994. That was when I, was definitely not real interested in songs. So I'm sure we played it. It might have been one of those night-only songs. And, of course, who could forget number one in 2004 for 3 weeks? Number one, he dropped it like it's hot. It was Snoop Dogg and Pharrell. And that was definitely a song that we played at night. And you mentioned hot and cold. I wrote it down. Katy Perry, number 3, November 22nd, 2008. So you're right. It was right before I left.
Yeah.
Okay. So while I look through my notes here, let me see if there's anything else. Is there anything else you want to bring up?
Yeah, I've got some honorable mention. I've got 3 honorable mention songs. And the reason they're honorable mention is because they don't have the word cold in them, but they're associated. They have the word cool in them.
Exactly.
Because it was hard to find top 40 songs that had cold in the title. First one is Long Cool Woman by the Hollies in 1972.
Black Dress, one of my favorite songs of all time.
Went to number 2 in 1972. Great song.
Not a number 1 song.
Next on the list was Cool Night by Paul Davis in 1981. Went to number 11.
Remember that fondly.
And Cool Change by the Little River Band in 1979. Song went to number 10.
Did get to play that song, and I got to play all 3 of those. So that's very cool of you to remember that. I have honorable mentions too. My honorable mentions are songs that did not use the word hot, but used the word heat. And I came up with 3, actually 4 different songs. The Heat Is On, Glenn Frey, went to number 2, March 16th, 1985. Heat of the Moment by Asia, which I think, wasn't that one of those super groups? I can't remember who all was in Asia.
I don't think so.
Okay. Heat of the Moment by Asia went to number 4, June 26, 1982. Heat of the Night by Bryan Adams went to number 6, May 18th, 1987, I believe. And I would not remember ever meeting Bryan Adams if we didn't have a picture at home of he and my wife. And it's unmistakably, it's unmistakably that I didn't remember initially going backstage to see Styx until somebody sent a picture of me with Tommy Shaw and 2 other guys that were in the radio business. So I'm way off base here, way offline. Back to the subject. Heat Wave was Martha and the Vandellas' number 4 smash record, September 21st, 1963. So that's definitely the oldest on either one of our lists. Yeah. And but, however, it was redone by Linda Ronstadt, went to number 5. Martha and the Vandellas went to number 4 with it. Linda Ronstadt went to number 5, November 15th, 1975. And I think that's all the stuff I've got for the hot.
That's everything we've got.
That's the hot and cold of it all. So how many of you thought, even though we were talking, how many of you thought more about hot songs than you did cold songs? And that was a rough assignment for Dave, and I congratulate him for coming up with that many songs. When we talked about doing it, you want to do it? I said, yeah, as long as I get the hot songs, because I remember more of those, and the top 12 of those.
You could have actually, in your honorable mention there, you could have actually put a group in there.
Well, I did, actually.
Heat Wave. In the
Heat Wave, yeah. There were 2 hot groups.
Yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers went to 1991, had a hit called Under the Bridge.
Yeah.
That was a big hit song here.
Give it away now.
And do you remember the song by the group Hot?
Hot
Butter?
Hot Butter Popcorn.
There you go. Hot Butter was done by Popcorn. 1972 was a strange, I mentioned earlier, 72 had some strange music. And it was, I guess, put together to sound like popcorn popping, I guess. That do.
Yeah.
It won't get out of your mind if you listen to the song. So I'm sorry I reminded you of it. There was also a group called Hot. It was a million-selling song in 1979. The group was called Hot. The song was called "Angel in Your Arms." The angel in your arms this morning's going to become a devil in your
Someone else's
bed
arms
tonight.
tonight.
Someone else's tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was more Hot.
And the band Heat Wave. You can't forget them. Always and Forever.
I did
Groove
forget
Line.
them, didn't I? Shame on me. You're right. You're exactly right. Heat Wave. That was Always and Forever was one of the big people would call and ask, what should I have played or what should I have sung at my wedding?
Yeah.
And that was one that always came up. So I have more wedding songs. Gary Music Miller Wedding.com. No, not really. But I'm through with this this time, except for my drum roll, please. You gotta hear this. I would imagine none of you, or maybe at the most, well, I actually have a Canadian listener. I've mentioned her a couple of times, and she's a singer and an actress and all kinds of stuff up in Canada. But the fellow's name is Keith Hampshire. Now, it was fun for me because I think Keith has probably passed, but maybe not. I don't know. But I found his daughter on Twitter and corresponded with her. And she was so surprised to find out that anybody from America knew about her dad's music. And there were at least two songs that I highly recommend. They came out on A&M Records and were serviced to the United States. They just didn't happen to work. And the first song I'm going to mention, I'll mention the second one next show. Keith Hampshire, look it up. If you like this song at all, I believe Sheryl Crow did The First Cut is the Deepest. I believe that was her song. And that was the first time a lot of people had heard that song. But I had heard Keith Hampshire's version of it, which would have been released around 71, 72. The reason I got to hear a lot of these songs between 71 and 74, I was playing country music, and if they sent us a pop song or a rock song, Mr. Husted, who ran the radio station, was the owner, and the general manager said, "Gary, take these home. Get them out of my sight." Yeah. So I had both the Keith Hampshire songs that I remembered. One is unique, but his version of
First Cut.
First Cut, thank you. First Cut is the deepest. One of my brainwave farts there. Excuse me for saying fart, but that's what it is.
Your cerebral flatulence.
My cerebral flatulence. That sounds good to me. Keith Hampshire did an incredible version of First Cut is the Deepest. It should have been a hit all over the world. I know it was a big hit in Canada. It's a beautiful love song, an incredible lyric, and then in the center of the song, in the middle of the song, he sings First Cut is the Deepest 2 or 3 times. And I've talked in the past, we did a whole show about brass, and there's a trumpet guy on the Keith Hampshire version that hits an incredibly high note. And it just really draws you into that song. So I invite you all to, if it's on YouTube, I usually check to make sure they are. Dave will put a link to it. If you like that song at all, if you appreciate really good music, I promise you, Keith Hampshire was a heck of a singer. I called him accidentally in a conversation with somebody once, Canadian. Again, I'm going to the lead singer of Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
David Clayton Thomas?
David Clayton Thomas, thank you. I called him a a Canadian version of David Clayton Thomas. And one of the ladies in the group came in and said, "You just made a fool out of yourself." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because David Clayton Thomas is from Canada." So I said, okay.
Whoopsie.
Whoops, I've always referred to him as the Canadian David Clayton Thomas, but I won't do that anymore.
Oh, boy.
But he had that kind of voice to me. And so I hope you'll check out First Cut is the Deepest by Keith Hampshire. That version to me usurps all other versions that were ever released of that song.
Okay, well, I will put a link to that below the description down there. And below the description is a comment area. Leave a few if you please, and we would enjoy hearing from you. I believe that is everything we've got for right now.
Right.
We appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in.
Sure do.
To get a hold of Gary, write him at rdwgmm@gmail.com. Always get a hold of him on X or Twitter if you're old like us and you just want to call it Twitter.
At Gary Music Miller.
At Gary Music Miller, exactly.
And people seem to find that the easiest way to correspond with me for some reason. So
he's still on Facebook, although he doesn't like it. He's still there.
I just don't spend much time there. But
right. So with that said, I think we are finished. We thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your day to watch this and listen to our sometimes our foolishness, but a lot of times our information. We hope you come back. If you're new, thank you so much for joining in with us. We're just a couple of old buddies that sit and talk music, and that's what you are now, too, if you're joining us.
And we'd dearly love for you to subscribe to us. That would really mean the world to us. And our subscribers have grown slightly and continue to do so. So hopefully you'll subscribe. And that's it.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us today. For Gary Music Miller, I'm Dave Black. Thanks. Have a great week ahead. God bless everyone. We'll see you next time.